Hey, Neil McDonnell here. This is day one of a 12-month journey in 2025 where I'm going to take a company brand new. I'm going to create a brand new government contracting business in between January 1st and December 31st, 2025, get it to $1 million revenue, what I call ARR, which is annual recurring revenue. So by the end of December, I'll be billing out at a monthly rate that is equal to $1 million in revenue. And so I believe everybody could do this. I've had 2 government contracting businesses in the past, sold the last one in 2017. And since 2018, I've been teaching people like you that government contracting is not a secret, it's just a process. When we follow the process, we're gonna have repeatable, predictable success. And this is what I want for you. It's what I've been teaching. I've done well over 600 training videos in the last 2-3 years alone. I come back almost every single day at noon on LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter to teach for free. But one of the things I decided at the end of 2024 is I keep teaching people, but I watch a lot of people sometimes just not get past the barriers they have set on themselves. And so I want to create a new company, and I'm going to call it the company, I don't know where I'm writing here, but the company is going to be called 𝗚𝗎𝗊𝗂. And hopefully that URL is available. But Nancy's my wife's name, and so I'm going to call it 𝗚𝗎𝗊𝗂. It's going to be a brand new company, not doing anything I've done before in the past. So in my last 2 companies, the first one I did network engineering. Second one, we did Microsoft SharePoint services. And so this one, and I'll talk about what I want to do with this one in a second, but I want to create a company in 2025 to show you that if you follow the process, you're going to have success. You can follow the same process that I'm doing. In the very beginning, let's say the first few weeks of January, and I still got to figure out how to do this, it'll be videos targeted to people who are maybe a little earlier. But the reality is, right from the beginning, I'm going to figure out, what am I selling? Who do I want to sell it to? Where am I going? It's all going to be in the federal market. So federal government contracting is what I'm doing. But I'm going to show you step by step how I go from not knowing anything. This is why in 2024, I didn't do any prep work. I didn't say, oh, this is what I'm going to sell, etc. I had ideas pop in my head and I actually dismissed them because I wanted you to see, as I go through day after day, what I experience. And I experience the same as you. I'm just far more experienced than most people, so I can react pretty fast, but I still have stumbles. Life is like a maze, right? You go down one corridor, you're like, oh, it's not there. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is unsuccessful people in that maze hit that barrier and go, oh, it's all over. There's nowhere else to go. How could this possibly have happened? And successful people go, this is not the right direction. Let me reverse course and go find the right direction. And I want you to see that even very experienced people have that same situation where things just pop up and you're like, gotta go the other way. So because this is completely raw and authentic, right? I do my daily training still. I have multiple day jobs that I'm doing. This is something I'm gonna do 1 hour a day. So I'm gonna commit no more than 1 hour a day to build $1 million company in 2025. So every day I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna have an idea of what I'm gonna tackle from, like, I'll create tomorrow's plan today with you in a second. But I want to do 1 hour a day. I'll probably record 15-20 minute video. And then my intention is to sit there and create the activity I want to do, hang up with you, right? And then go do it for the rest of the hour. And then tomorrow when I come back and record a video, I'm going to sit there and say, yesterday I did this, and today I plan on doing this. And whatever I can do together with you on the board, I will. But I'm going to try to keep the videos like 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going to be bouncing around because this is not well planned out. Ironically, at the same time as I'm doing this, I'm building this really sophisticated course that I'm going to sell at some point, right? And it's unrelated really to what we're doing, but it's still government contracting. But that one's going to be very planned out before I ever record one video that anybody's going to see. Here, though, I want you to see I'm just like you. In fact, I forgot to shut my door to record this video. And I got 2 10-year-old, 11-year-olds now who probably are going to come bursting through the door or something. That's life. It's the life that you have to deal with. You might have a full-time job and you're trying to start a company. You might be really busy and you only got an hour a day to do sales, whatever it is. You might work from home and you have these distractions. I'm no different, right? Again, I have a lot of experience that you probably don't have. But other than that, I still have to go outside and blow the leaves off my grass, right? The same as everybody else. And so we're all the same. I'm just going to guide you through this process. But 2025 for me is about really showing the difference between what I teach and what everybody else teaches, right? There's only a couple of people who do something similar to what I'm doing, but I want to show you that I don't just tell you what to do. I tell you how to do it, and then I show you that I can do it, right? I don't want to be teaching you what I did now. I sold it in 2017, the end of 17, so 18, 19, 20. So 7 years ago, 8 years ago was the last time I had my company. Now, I have had workshop customers and I've worked with small businesses all those times. So I've been in other people's companies helping them. So it's not like I forgot what I was doing and I just teach it. I've been actually doing it day after day. I mean, even right now I'm working with one particular customer and they've got a $50 million pipeline that we're pushing them through and I'm guiding them through the process. So we still do that. But this 𝗟𝗡𝗄 company I'm going to create, this is me going back and saying, what if I was in your shoes? What if I had to start again? And I'm not going to do a video saying, what if I started, had to start again? I want to do a series of videos that says, here's how I'm going to get to $1 million. And I'm going to show you every step of the way, the things that I stumble on, the things that I do right. And then I'm going to show you how I'm getting my first revenue and how I get to $1 million, how I start thinking about how do I get to $1 million. So I'm going to bounce back and forth on what I'm talking to you about and what I'm sharing. But depending on where you're at, first thing I think I might want to just tell you is that in the federal government, there are 3 ways to make money. You can subcontract under small businesses, you can prime contract directly with federal agencies, and you can subcontract under large businesses. And subcontracting means that business has the contract with the government and I'm just doing part of the work with this company. The reason I'm telling you this is that as I stand up 𝗟𝗡𝗄, I'm starting with the easiest. The easiest way for me to get $1 million is to subcontract under companies that already have the business. Even if I thought I could go, which I do think of this, and I'll talk to you a little bit later, but even if I thought I could go right to the government and try to get a prime contract, I don't actually want that. Because in the first year, I got so many other things I'll be doing with 𝗟𝗡𝗄 to stand it up, that I'd rather have somebody else do the administration. I just do the work and get paid for it kind of thing, right? And so I would, if I had a target customer like a federal agency that I thought might be a good prime, I'm still going to go find a teaming partner, talk to them about it and say, hey, I got this great customer. How about you prime? I'll do some of the work, you do some of the work, and we move forward. This keeps my administrative burden down so that I can focus more on showing you how do I define what I sell? How do I find the people who are buying it? How do I go after it? So anyways, those 3 different ways of making money. So I'm just going to stop for a second on, hey, here's all the things we're doing. And I want to slide right into, well, what would I do on day 1? The first thing that I know that I won't do, and it's really important that I'm teaching this to people over and over again, when you're going to start any business, but in particular a government contracting business, do not go form an LLC. Don't go form the company, the formal part of a company. Don't do that. First, figure out, what do you sell? What do you want to sell, right? What do you want the company to be? Cut yourself some slack, right? Whatever you decide today, if you sit there and turn around and go, tomorrow I'm going to do this, it's not the end of the world. You want to not make those changes too frequently, but it's not the end of the world if you change your mind and say, oh, I'm going to sell this now. The point is, though, you want to sit there and choose something. If I use a word that's popped into my head about, if I stood up 𝗟𝗡𝗄, what am I going to sell? I'm thinking something like communication and outreach. And let me just tell you how I came up with this idea. First off, when I thought about 𝗟𝗡𝗄 and I'm going to start it, and I said, well, what can I sell? And this is kind of like just the maximum of what I'm selling. Well, for the last several years, I have been engaging industry, so government contractors. And I have now, in the last year, been contacted by multiple large agencies, including DOD and NASA and others, right? I've been contacted by these federal departments and agencies because they're like, oh, Neil, you've got such a good community you've built with industry. That's who small businesses are. Can you help us reach industry? Because we're struggling to reach industry. I'm like, okay, well, that's something I'm good at, and that's something they want. Maybe that's something they'll pay for. And I know they'll pay for it, and we'll go back and talk about it, right? There is this level of me starting from scratch and me having 20 years of experience, but that's not unusual, right? We all have whatever experience we have. Anyway, so when I thought about my main method of building a community is all with LinkedIn. when I go out and I do lives and I'm training people and doing all this kind of stuff, I'm always on LinkedIn, and then I'm also on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, right? But those other social media platforms are not as important to me. Really, the priority is LinkedIn because that's the professional network, and then there's YouTube because that's the number 2 search engine or whatever, and then the other ones. I don't really care about the other ones. I am thinking about expanding into TikTok, but that's a whole nother thing. For the federal customer, though, that I might want to target, I'm thinking communication and outreach. I know that is something they want. That's a good term. You know, hey, we're trying to do communication with whoever our stakeholders are, and we're trying to do outreach. So the federal agencies, they're trying to reach small businesses to get more small businesses engaged with their agency, their department. Well, okay, I'm good at those. I think this is what I'm gonna sell. Right, and this is what I want you to do too. So, right, start with what do we sell? What's that couple of words that's up there? I'm gonna leave my company 𝗟𝗡𝗃𝗃. I was gonna sit there and suggest that I, name it something like, Federal Communication and Outreach LLC or something like that. But I'm like, who cares? I mean, that'd be a good name because you want your company name to kind of communicate what you're doing. But for me, I got the luxury of not caring. I'm going to call it 𝗟𝗡𝗃𝗃 because I like the idea that I'm going to come back every day and record a video about how I'm, thinking about my wife every single day. And I'm building a company around this idea that it's 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃. Something else I didn't say from the beginning, my plan is not to build this big government contracting company. I've done those. My plan is to build $1 million company in 12 months. And then in December or January 2026, I'll just sell it to somebody, right? It's like, hey, here's a ready-made business. That's not the business I want to be in. What I'm trying to show you, though, is if you follow this process, you can grow your company. You can grow it to $1 million in 12 months. Or if you're a $3 or $4 million company, you can grow it to $6 or $7 million if you follow the processes that I teach. Okay, so coming back to me, I'm tracking the hour. I started this journey 12 minutes ago when I started this video. So I've been on about 12 minutes, so I'm gonna give myself about 45 minutes. And here's what I'm gonna do between now and tomorrow. So I'm gonna come back every single day. And quick sidebar, I'm literally coming back every single day with a quick video, right? Unless I get sick, I'm coming back every single day. It's not gonna interfere with my family life or anything else because my kids like to play video games and there's times when they're doing that. But my point is I'm an entrepreneur and so are you. Right? If you're an employee, it's a different thing. But if you're an entrepreneur, 7 days a week is not an unusual thing. You totally can have work-life balance, but I don't look for work-life balance. I look for fun. And this stuff here for me is not just work, it's fun. And so I'll work 7 days a week. And the plan is I'll work 7 hours total a week trying to build $1 million company. And so if we sit there and multiply 52 weeks in every day, we're looking at, is that 364 hours. So in 364 hours, I'm gonna build I can't believe I just had to add up that. I'm doing 1 hour a day and I couldn't figure out how to get to 365. Okay, well, so I told you, sometimes we go down roadmaps and we come back. It's actually 365. I don't know how I got that. There must be an extra day in there, right? It's not like math is my strong suit. But the point is, I'm going to come back every single day and I'm going to follow that process of saying, here's what I'm going to do, let me go do it, and I'll come back. And so I'll probably talk for 15 minutes, now I'm seeing how long this is, and then work for 45 minutes and come back. And I really want you to understand, first off, I've got a lot of experience, so it makes it easier for me to go faster. But imagine if you did the same thing and you're trying to build $1 million company and you gave yourself 4 hours a day that you're working on stuff. I will be working on this incrementally, and so it'll be fine. Okay, so here's what here's the first thing I need to do. Day 1 of 365 days to be able to build $1 million company, government contracting company. First thing I need to do is figure out what I sell. So I'm gonna expand on communication and outreach, and between now and tomorrow, I'm gonna turn around as soon as I stop recording. I'm gonna write down what am I selling? What do I think I want to sell? When you have that idea, then you can move on to the next step. So that's where we're gonna start. If you're here for the journey with me and you got questions or you wanna give me support as I'm pushing forward, just throw something in the comments, give it a thumbs up, whatever it is. and come back tomorrow. I'm going to come back every single day. By the way, you can always go to govconchamber.com/NancyCo to get updates. All right, I will see you in the next training.